Hello everybody on this internet, it's Krezapar doing another video on a review subject that a review batch that I should have done a long time ago, and that's the 2007 Prisoners of the Pit contest that I have not finished. It's been so long, you guys already know what happened, moving, yada yada, but I had recently got these guys out of storage, and I thought, well, might as well do the continuation of it, because you guys have been waiting long enough, and the other two are going to be a while until I finish them, because their parts are in storage still, and it's been long enough. So let's just do this over with the continuation of it, Zakron. Now, Zakron was one of 5 Prisoners of the Pit. I have already reviewed one previously. Sorry, his name was Tinoron, and he was recorded a while back. This is the second one. I swore I did a review on this one, but I've scoured my channel, listed and unlisted, and I haven't found this video yet. So I think I probably am just having a memory issue, which, no surprise. So this will be the official review of Zakron. Yeah, we'll get into it. Also, side note, if you ever hear any chirping, I have a lizard, so crickets, they eat crickets, so ignore them. Yeah, let's get started the review. And this time we're gonna go where we always do, which is the feet. The feet are pretty simplistic. It is just Borak feet with the Paraka foot, the wide Paraka foot attached to the bottom of it. And then it's got some Vizorek feet on either side and a Borak eye on either side. Excuse me. And on his right foot, there is a little chain, and I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be like a little Lego boulder here to act like a ball and chain, but I don't have it. It's probably in the bin, or I just didn't have it at the time. We'll move up to his legs. His legs are just Nika legs with a Nika armor on the back, Paraka armor on the front. He's got Metru feet for covering, and it's just a blue pin in there to keep it from wiggling around all too much, or yeah, one of these just to keep it from moving around too much. I could put anything else in there just to help the friction, but I'm just gonna leave it empty for now. Torso time. This torso is a cool torso build. It's unique. So Zakron is one of the only wholly original. There's only like 2 really original mocks out of all of them, and it's Zakron is the first one and the only one to be wholly original, and we'll show you that with his build. So I just took the back piece off. If you want to know how that's connected, by the way, it's just another one of these Paraka feet. He has 4 of them total, so be prepared to kill at least 2 Thoks. And it just uses the simple little Technic connection there to help connect it to the back. And the actual torso itself. So this is a cool torso. It's very reminiscent to, I believe it's Kreka, because I think Kreka used the Metru torso. Or was it a Mvaki torso? I think it was a Metru torso. I want to say it was a Metru torso, and he uses these kind of Technic lift arms. This is the one with 4 pin connections on one side. Yeah, he uses 2 of these for his shoulders, which is why he's got such wide, broad shoulders. And it uses this little Technic connector piece thing here to kind of keep it all together. These are 2 black pins that just kind of run all the way through. That is where the torso is connected, so that's where this Paraka foot is connected. It's just right there, and it's pretty stable. Like, he doesn't flail around. I can hold him by here, and he doesn't flail around all too much. And then the torso is also got a bunch of these Borak eyes and the Borak teeth as like just added like detail, which look really cool with the Paraka foot. It matches really well. Like the ribbing on the foot, or the teeth matches the ribbing on the foot. The eyes just make things look pointier, and he just looks really cool. Like really cool armored, like almost like a mutated Skakti that was like imprisoned there or something. I mean, given the fact that he's got a Skakti skull, we'll get to that in a minute. It looks really cool. I believe this is a pin, by the way. This is a an axle piece with the little like stud connection on one side, and it runs right through, and that's where the Paraka foot would go through, and that's just there to keep it from not falling off and keep the whole thing together. At least the back part together, because without it, it'll just be a little bit more flimsy. But it does that anyway. But yeah, no, it's a pretty cool look. Again, he's one of the few wholly original. I really like this torso design. It's a little gappy here and there, but I mean, what Bionicle set isn't gappy? We'll move over to the arms. His right arm is a little different than how it's supposed to be built. So the original Zakron model, built by Ethan Schlept by Slepset, I think is how you say his last name, did not use this build, arm build. I did, because I remember Zakron having two just basic Technic ball pieces, the little ball joint pieces, just to connect the arms together, and I really hate those connections, because one, it's like one too many points of articulation for a arm, and two, they fall apart constantly. So I just said, screw it, we'll use a Metro limb, and I locked this one in place with just a basic Technic connection, and it keeps it in place and acts like an extra shoulder, which just means its shoulder's a little farther down than normal. But that's fine. I didn't really care. It doesn't really limit posability all too much. His arm, though, is pretty simplistic. This right arm is pretty simplistic. It is just the larger limb connector with a Metru arm, and it basically just, again, it looks like the Paraka's Zamor Sphere Launcher arm. That's all it is. And it's got all the basic articulation points that that arm has. So, you know, one in the elbow and one in the shoulder and one here in his wrist. And in that wrist, he's got a staff. And I don't remember if I actually finished the staff or not. I don't think so. I might have. But I don't know. The bottom of the staff has his ribbing. I think this is supposed to be ribbed here. I might be missing another green Borak eye. I don't think so, but this is basically what it looks like. And what matters is that I got the actual staff part itself done, which is just two Motau Hortica blade pieces, just kind of kept together with three of these little bracket pieces. Is two on either side of these with these little modified Technic lift arm pieces that connect to this, and that's just how it connects to the rest of the staff. I used the one of the little weird modified piece. It's one of these with a axle on it, just so I can keep it through, and that's just how I connected everything together. That's how this is there. I mean, it's a little off, but you know, I think it's fine. It doesn't track right, and it's a really cool staff design. That's all that really matters. And yeah, other side, he's got the other arm, he's got a giant claw, obviously, and this is why I kept this one free, because he doesn't have a forearm and he's just got a wrist. So I kept this one open. Uses the same thing, just a Metru Matoran limb piece. On this side, he's got the seaweed piece. I think this is, or the Paraka spine, or whatever you want to call this, like the minifigure Paraka spine. And I think that's correct, having it only on one arm. But again, I could just be missing a couple pieces and just forgetting it. But it's pretty simplistic. It's just another one of these armor connectors, or limb connectors, and just a giant claw. The claw is made up of 4 Maritoran blades, and it opens up pretty well. It just opens with a ball joint and it closes. It has a bit of an issue with articulation because the axle on this actually butts up against not only the ball joint, but the arm, like the actual, this part of the arm limb connector itself, so it just kind of tends to pull this out. There is a solution. It's called breaking the axle off of this, which I don't recommend doing, but I do have, and I probably will replace it with a broken one, because I've got plenty of broken pieces, and these guys like to break a lot, at least especially from 2008 as well. So yeah, no, it pulls on it a little bit. So that's the only issue with this one, with the model. But other than that, I mean, if you angle it out a little bit and open it up, it looks fine. He's got this giant claw, and it looks pretty cool. And of course the shoulders, that's right. He does have asymmetric shoulder armor, so Visorak foot, and then the Paraka armor. And then the head is pretty simplistic. It confused me for a while, but it's simplistic. It's just a Skakti skull, or a Paraka skull, with the Matau Hordika armor, and that fits well enough with 2 thin lift arms on the back. And that's just it. You take the little like a 2-length axle connection, and then you that's where it goes in the head, and then you just attach this onto it. It's a little finicky, it's a little stressed, but once it locks in, it pretty much sits all right. But it's a really cool set. This is, again, a very impressive model. It was one of the few wholly original models that don't just use a bunch of other sets cobbled together, and it's just that's what it is. It's just a figure. This was wholly original, like a fully original design, and it was really impressive. We're going to do a size comparison right now before I get out and do a couple more videos. Here we have a Mori Matoran to keep into the 2007 aesthetic. This is just a mock, but it's about the same size as every other Mori Matoran, so he's about twice the height of a Mori Matoran. Get that nice overview. And then I don't have any other Toa or any other sets around me, so I'm just going to use what I have available, which is a Vaki. And he's a little bit taller than a Vaki, but yeah, there we go. He's a bit taller than a Vaki. Not by much, but he is. But yeah, that's Zakron, not Zarnak, Zakron. Really cool model. I do recommend building him. If you ever want any help building him, I'm always free to send photos over of how this guy's built, and you can go from there. Credit to, again, Ethan Slepsit, or Slepitis, I think, for building this. Really cool model, and yeah, I do recommend him. That's going to call it for this end of the review. Stay tuned. I will go live sometimes. At some point. Happy New Year, and yeah, I have a couple more videos on the way. Next one is going to be Drudica, which I made a video before, but I'm actually going to do the proper video now. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching. This is Karasapar signing back out, saying goodbye.